Welcome to our webinar, Boost Your CRM Skills, AI, Bids, and Finances Made Easy. So this is a level 2 webinar, which is more catered for our intermediate users. All right, so thank you for joining all here today, and it's great to reconnect with everyone. My name is Kevin, and I am the Customer Success Specialist in charge of providing support and training to our users. I also have here my co-host, Austin, who's happy to answer any questions you may have via our chat. And in this session, we'll explore how MeasureSquare CRM can help you simplify and optimize your flooring project workflows. So today's session will be focusing on our key tools, such as our bid module, our AI analyzer tool, and integrating with QuickBooks Online and our newly released financial module. So by the end of this webinar, you'll see how our financial module, our bids, and our AI analyzer, along with our other recent updates, can work together within the CRM to centralize your workflows, streamline your project management, and give you better financial and operational control. Right. So let's just take a quick look at today's agenda. We'll be exploring some of the latest and most powerful features in MeasureSquare CRM, all designed to simplify your flooring operations. So we'll also kick things off with a demo with our AI analyzer, where you'll see how to extract pages and products by scope, fine-tune your prompts for accurate takeoffs. Next, we'll also dive into our bids module, where you'll learn how to build advanced bid worksheets, manage your alternates, customize your bid templates for different project types. Then we'll move into our settings just to see, I can show you quickly how to configure and modify your order templates. And after that, we'll be exploring our newly released financial tools, which covers bills, payments, and expenses, and see how payments recorded for invoices would also sync directly with QuickBooks Online. And finally, we'll wrap up with some of our key updates for version 1.41, and we can finish with a live Q&A session where we can answer your questions. So let's get started. Just wanted to take a closer look at our financial module in MeasureSquare CRM. So this is a new set of tools which are designed to give you full visibility into your project finances all in one place. So first, we have our centralized financial tracking, where you can record and manage all your payments, bills, and expenses right inside the CRM. So that means no more switching between spreadsheets or third-party systems. Everything is integrated and accessible all in just one platform. And talk about payments. So these are payments that are recorded for invoices, which will sync automatically with QuickBooks Online, which also keep your accounting system up to date without manual entry needed. And if you're using Stripe, these payments are also automatically captured and reflected in the CRM. Then we move on to bills. You can easily convert any approved purchase orders and work orders into bills with just a few clicks, and record transactions directly for clear cost tracking. And finally, for expenses, you can quickly add expenses to individual jobs or projects to keep an accurate record of project costs and maintain real-time profit visibility. And with all these financial tools in hand, coming soon is our work in progress or WIP report, where it will display and collate all your project job costing data. So altogether, this financial module will give you a complete and connected picture of your project finances, from payments and billing to expense management, all within MeasureSquare CRM. All right, so we can hop on a demo here. 1 second. So, and yeah, feel free to answer any of the poll questions you have there. Okay. Okay, So, uh, so yes, so now I'm sharing the CRM. So I'm pretty sure this screen is very familiar to some of you, but for those that are still new, this is our project pipeline page that shows all of the different leads and projects that my company or organization is working with. So each of these cards represents one project, and these columns over here represent one stage of a project, right? So let's open a project first. I'll select this one, and we can head over to our files section here. You can see I have here some PDF floor plans that I already uploaded, but you can simply upload a file here or just drag or drop them in this section. And then let me open one of these files here, floor plan. So you can see once I selected this plan, it will open our AI Analyzer tool where you can see a preview of your PDF file, right? So notice there are 4 additional tools here. We have AI Summary, Extract Materials, extract takeoff sheets, and extract trade symbols. So these AI tools work together to help you analyze your plan sets in just seconds. And let me click on this first tool, AI Summary. And I do see this already analyzed. Let me just click on reanalyze. So what's happening here is the AI summary, or the AI is going to read your uploaded floor plan, and it will give you a clear or written overview of what's included. So depending on how big your floor plan or file is, it will take just a couple of seconds for our AI tool to analyze the floor plan. So you can see here, I'm getting the results right now, and it's just giving me like a summary of, let's say, my product lists here. Um, let's give it a bit of time. And I just wanted to share that this is still in beta, so there are more improvements are being worked on to this tool here. But all our users are free to use this tool. It's available for all tiers in the CRM. So you can see it's giving me um, just like a breakdown of my floor plan. So I do see here I have my floor plan as like a lot of pages here. But essentially what's going to happen is once it's done with the results, then you can see just the overview or summary of the entire floor plan. And it will also help you decide whether you want to bid on this project or not. So instead of having to scroll through all of each of these pages, the AI summary can help you help you decide on that. Right. So next up we have, while this one is still loading, we can go to our extract materials page. It did already have this analyzed a while ago, so you don't have to keep on analyzing it again every time you open this page. So here, just to save everybody's time from waiting on the results, you can see that I have my extract materials results here. So this tool will automatically identify and list all the products and materials found in your plan sets. So this will help you instantly see what's needed for bidding or estimating without manually searching through your drawings. So you can also export these products directly for takeoff use. If you go to this export button over here, we can export this as an Excel file. We can also export this to a MeasureSquare Excel file, or we can import that to MeasureSquare 8. And lastly, you can also export this to your project product section in your CRM project, right? Then you can see here that we have some of the products listed with their corresponding description, style name, and sizes. So these are all the information that's obtained within your uploaded floor plan. So do note that we have a disclaimer here below that this is a AI generated analysis. So It may or may not capture all the details or annotations in your floor plans. And notice that this is still on beta. So do keep in mind just to double check on the results there. Mhm. So next we have our extract takeoff sheets. So you can see here that the system's detecting and organizing your key takeoff pages. So you know exactly which sheets contain your relevant measurement data or floor layouts. So for example, these are the results I have. I have here my finished legend, which says it's on page in index 3. So this is my first page. Let me go scroll down to my third page. And it does say here, this is my finished legend. And this is the page number A1.4. And we'll just give you a description of what this page contains. So especially if you have a plan set that's like over 50 or 100 pages, this actually is a very useful tool. So you can know which specific takeoff pages you are most applicable to you, right? And lastly, we have our extract trade symbols. So over here, you can just see that the AI tool is highlighting and categorizing your trade-specific icons and symbols. So to make it easier for you to identify what work belongs to like flooring, electrical, plumbing, or other trades, right? And lastly here, you can see we have the scope button. You can actually filter your plan sets by scope. For example, if you just want to focus on flooring, base, or wall finishes, then you can just select these 3 scopes, and it will help you. It will help isolate and extract the pages that matter most to your bid, and also the same for your trades here. So having all this information generated in seconds will allow you to quickly access your project scope and more importantly, decide faster whether to bid or to pass, right? And there's also another great tip. Let me just exit out of this. Okay. You can edit the AI prompt yourself. So if we go to my system settings, we go to our preferences, and we go to plan analyzer, you can modify the prompt for your AI summary and also the prompt for extract materials here. So basically, it's like you're talking to like ChatGPT and you're telling them the instructions and what you want to do. So you can say, "Hey, I want the I want a breakdown of this and that. I want to make sure that the materials are included in the scopes that I selected. And also for extract materials, I want the extract materials to be in this format here, where you're putting in the name, description, the trade, and size. Um, I like this. All right, so that's for our plan, our AI analyzer tool. And now we can just go and just cover bids, right? So let's go back to our homepage, open the project right here, and see if I have a diagram connected. I don't have one yet. Let me just click on add an existing diagram from my cloud. Let me search for my project here. Okay, I have this one. These are all from my cloud, and any changes that's done on the cloud, I get to see up and updated real time. So you can see here, I can import my products. Yeah. Uh, oh, that is strange. Why it's not giving any products here? Let me just do another one. Okay, let me just bring all these products in and we can just simply create a bid. So our workflow here is if you want to create a bid, you can open your diagram first, and then you can go over to our order section on the right side, go to bid, and just click on add. You have the option to group your products by trade. Let me do that for this example and see all my products here, and I may just click on OK. And I have all my project bid information from my project. It's just all passed over here. So I'm eliminating any double entry. Click on OK. And it will bring us to the worksheet area, and you can do most of your modifications here. So this will show you a detailed breakdown of your products, including any add-ons here. So you can see I have my CPT1 Shaw. If I click on that plus sign, I see all my add-ons underneath it. So this is different from a quote, where the quote will just give you just a summary of all your line items. It doesn't give you any breakdown of your add-ons, right? So we still have the option to add any folders and place additional line items here. So let's say if I want to place it on a line item under this carpet trade folder, I can just click on that plus sign and add a product either from my selected products that's already in the CRM, or I can just add a new line item manually, right? So just like that here. Okay, we can also lock and unlock items. If I go to my right hand side, go to the three dots, let's say this one. Yeah, I can lock a line item. I can also replace a line item. If I have any other items that I place in my products module, I can also set some items as add-ons here. Right? So you can also sort and drag your columns as needed. Yeah, so it gives you that flexibility here. And you can also set your markup or margin rates. So if I have my markup here, click on that gear icon, I can update the value for all rows. So let's say if I want to put, let's say, a 10% markup for all my line items, I'll just do that and click on save. It's going to apply it to all my items over here. All right. And also what I'd like to add briefly is our custom columns tool. So if you click on this gear icon over here on your bid worksheet, it will allow you to tailor your bid worksheet or documents by adding specific data points that are unique to your project needs. So you can easily add like a custom field here, name it to any field you want. You can choose your current field type. It can be a currency, a number, a percentage, or even as a text. And you can also create formulas within these fields to automate your calculations. So you have here some data points that you can use. So I just want to show, let's say, just my net area, I can just do that, or I can just show freight. I can just do that and just save. I do say I already have created that one here, just for example. Yeah. And you can also have the option to hide that field if you don't want it to be used in that worksheet. Okay. Let me just delete this. Let me just close this one. And you can see below, so you can just see a breakdown of all your materials and labor items. And you can add any adjustments such as your overhead discounts, set up your taxes for either material tax or labor tax, and also other adjustments or other items such as your insurance pre-lien. And you can also add any adjustments here as needed. Right. And if I go click on these three dots over here, we have different formats on how to export our worksheet. So we can export an Excel file. We can also export them to other software integrations, other compatible Excel formats when we want to import this to other systems or ERPs. So we have CF data. You can export it to a Sage Excel type, a Plexus, and a Core Excel type. So next up, we can move on to our alternates. So the alternates in the bid module will just allow you to propose optional products or services alongside the main bid. So it will just give your clients flexibility to choose upgrades, downgrades, or any alternative solutions. So these are presented as separate sections in the bid with their own summaries and totals. So to do that, you can just click on Add Alternate. I can just name it alternate one, for example. So it will give you the same interface as you see with our bid worksheet. So you can import any products here, or if I want to import the same products from my worksheet, I just go back to my worksheet. Maybe select, like, say, these item here, and I can click on duplicate to alternate. So you just bring it to that alternate section. Just select like this folder. default folder. And now you can see your alternates here with all those line items that I brought over from your worksheet, and you can make your modifications here, right? And if that alternate is approved by your customer, you can just click on these three dots and you can approve, decline it. So for now, only the CRM user can mark the status of the alternates. Right. Next up, we just have our customer and document info. So very self-explanatory field. You can just add any relevant information for your bid document, add any photos, any files, your 2D, 3D diagrams, and any walls. So, and after that, we go to our bid preview. So you'll see this is going to be the customer-facing bid document, which you can email out to your client. But what I'd like to show you is our design tool here. We've made some enhancements to our bid proposal engine to allow more customization. So I'm pretty sure some of you are already familiar with our bid template section here. But what we added here is some additional columns under your worksheet material details. So now you can easily customize or change your column labels here. So for example, we now have added additional fields too, such as if you want to add sales plus overhead, if you want to hide your overhead from underneath the summary and just add it to your sales, put it as a one total amount, you can use the sales plus overhead option here. Let me turn off this amount. Yeah, and then you can change the label for that. So let me just call it like amount there, and it's gonna modify your column label respectively here. If you want to show sales and tax, then you can have that option as well and make changes to um, the column label like that. So pretty good feedback we received from our users to have these added to our bid document, right? So yeah, once you're done with your design, you can just click on save, right? And you can just easily send this out via email, or you can then also sync that to QuickBooks. All right. So that's for our bids. Let's cover quickly our order templates here. So if I go to my settings and if we go to order templates, so you have the ability to customize your own order templates. So you'll notice we have here our order forms, our quote, PO, invoice, order, change order, submittal, worksheet, and schedule values. You'll notice that the bids template is separate and is customizable only in the bid preview. So for example, for a quote, I want to make a change to our quote template. You can just easily click on these three dots and duplicate it so that you can make it use it as a template when you make your changes. So I already duplicated that here. And let me click on this one. This will give you a preview of how that template looks like. But if I want to make any edits, you can go to that edit screen here. And you can see all of these like placeholders, right? So, and then if you click on, let's say, type in double curly brackets, you can see a list of all our placeholders here. It will show you every field you can use to automatically display your project information, right? So let's say I want to, let's say, just put the project name here. I can do that, and I can erase it here if I don't want to show it here, right? Just for example, put like a title, project name, and then if I go to preview, you can see the project name is now in this area, right? So very gives you the very flexible. You can just modify it to however you wish. Okay, that's the same interface for all our other order forms. All right, so we can now go back to a project and let me go over our financial tools that we just released. So let me open this project. So first up is payments. So we can now record a payment received for an invoice. So To do that, we'll go to, let me open that bid we just created. Let me convert that to an invoice. Okay. Let me just select those that have 0. So let me click on OK. Let me just say, let's assume that we're happy with this invoice. Now we have this as draft. And you'll notice here we have a new section we added, which is payments received, right? So here, if you click on that, you can now record a payment, right? When you click on the screen, you can now, it will automatically input like the total amount of that invoice here, and you can put in your payment date and your payment method. So let's say you don't receive the full payment yet. Let's just say you receive $20,000 for that project invoice, and then you click on your payment method. Let's just say I chose credit card, for example. When you click on save, you can now see that it's partially paid. The status has changed automatically. Then I'll show you how that looks like in QuickBooks. So let me now sync this invoice to QuickBooks. Get a few moments here just to sync. Right, so now it's successfully synced. Let me go to QuickBooks Online. Oh, let me just refresh QuickBooks here. Then let me open up let me go to my invoices. And let me just sort it by today's date. Let's see what that invoice number was, 519. So now you can see my invoice 519 is now in QuickBooks. If I select that, you see that I have this invoice already in QuickBooks, right? This, what I was going to show you was once you sync this to QuickBooks with your payment, it should also reflect in QuickBooks Online to show the payment that was received for that invoice. Let's see. Okay, yeah, it should show. Maybe it's just a bit of a lag there, why no payment wasn't recorded yet. But let me add another payment here to see. So this is the balance. Let me just pay that. Let's say by a check. Click on save. So now I have this other payment received. So you can now see the status has now changed from partially paid to paid, right? And let me now sync this to QuickBooks. Hmm. So successfully synced. Let me just refresh my QuickBooks here. 519. Okay, so 519. All right. So this is the invoice we synced earlier. Now you see that we have that payment received, which is check for $34,000. It's now also synced to QuickBooks. Um, yeah, this should also have been synced. So I think for some reason it's not syncing it correctly. I'll check into that. But maybe just a delay that's causing that. But once you do sync, you'll also be seeing that $20,000 payment also logged into QuickBooks here, right? Right. So that's for our payments received for invoices. Let me go back to our project. And now we can, let's say, add an expense. So on the right-hand side, you'll see expenses. We can just click on that add button to add an expense. So we can add like a sample expense. Let's say, let me put in equipment rental. For today's date, you can put the amount as a sum, or you can also itemize them. So for example, let me put in floor scraper rental, for example. Quantity 1, price is 250. You can also add taxes if needed. Let me add one more line item for our expense. Let me put in power adapter rental. 21, let me just put an amount. Now it will give me my total expenses. You can select any vendor that you already placed in the CRM, choose a trade, add a notes or any attachments. Let's say a receipt, you could put it in or upload it in this section. So you click on save. You can now see that I have a expense recorded already in my project, right? And next up we have is bills. So now there are two ways to record a bill. First is directly from a work order or a purchase order. So the second option would just add one here. So let's just add one here first, a bill. You can select any relevant vendor. And then now, oh, let's see, add bill. Okay, now I put here your vendor. So you can also import from a purchase order or a work order. So let me import one from a purchase order. Note that it's already now categorized by vendor, and it will only show any approved purchase order or work order. So let me just click on this one. For example, click on next. It's going to bring all those items from that PO. Click on OK. And just like that, it's going to bring in all the details there, and then click on save. This is going to be now your bill that you've created in the CRM for that specific project. It will show you which project it is for, the reference number, which is the PO number, and your balance June total. Okay. And what I want to go over next here is our payments. So you can record a payment for this bill. So it will help you keep your project financials up to date. So let's say I already paid this bill. Um, I paid it with my chosen payment method and click on save. You can now see that this bill is already marked as paid, right? So a very simple interface there. And once once we have our work in progress report is going to come out soon, you can see all your bills, payments, expenses also collated there. Right. Right. So that's it for our financial tools. And uh, I can just quickly go over some of our key updates for our version 1.41 release. And you can check out our What's New section under your name profile here. Click on What's New. You can see our latest updates as of like last week, right? So we did already cover our financial module. So I want to cover next is our these three items, which is our work order, installation schedule, and list views. So for our work order, we can now actually we can now add multiple installers in a work order. So let me open a work order here, add a work order. Um, just for example. So now if in the installer section, you can now add multiple installers in that in this field, whereas before it's only just one, and um, it will take time to keep on creating or repeating the step to add a different installer, right? So you can add these installers here, set up your start time and date time as how you would normally make a work order. And what I also want to cover our other update was our installation schedule. So we've also added that same feature where you can assign multiple installers in one schedule here. So if I want to make a new schedule, I can now also add multiple installers like that. And once you click on save, this will add install schedules for each of the installers that we added. And then if you click on one schedule, you can also duplicate these schedules across non-consecutive days. So if I will click on that duplicate schedule button, I can select a different day. let's say for next week, and then just click on save. It will now add that for the next week. Instead of before where you have to manually open or create a new schedule for each installer for a different day if it's non-consecutive, right? All right, and what I want to cover last is our improvements in our list view. So if you click on this section here, this is going to be the list view for our projects. We've now added the ability to export custom columns to Excel directly from your list view. So this means that whatever you see on your current list, including any filters or custom columns you've set, this will appear exactly in your export file. So if you click on the three dots here, you can now see export current view, right? So make sure to select this view to export this as an Excel file with all of these custom columns or display you have. So same goes for our other order forms, our quotes, bids, and invoices. We also have that option to export current to Excel. Okay, so just share my screen again. So yeah, now that you've seen MeasureSquare CRM in action, you can see how it streamlines every part of your workflow, from importing your plans to your AI analyzer to you managing your bids, tracking your bills, payments, and expenses, and also syncing your payments to QuickBooks Online. So as part of the MeasureSquare family, you have access to our on-demand support. We do have a world-class support team. I'm very proud of our support team here, and they're available at these times. And very happy to answer any questions you may have with all our product lines. Right. So you also have um, available custom tailored onboarding to ensure that your team is well trained and to help them stay on track with using the software, right? And we're also always trying to keep ourselves updated and with the latest technologies. So we have a dedicated AI team that's improving our AI tools as well. Okay, so yeah, we can open up the stage to answer a few questions. And also, I just wanted to ask if you have any work in progress or WIP reports that you can share to us. Feel free to send us via this email here. So that feedback would be greatly appreciated as we are currently building our WIP report tool. Right, right here. Yeah, and also feel free to scan these QR codes here, especially when joining the Facebook user group. It will give you direct access to a community of flooring professionals where you can share your tips, ask questions, and also stay updated on our latest software features. So Austin here um, is actively monitoring our Facebook group. So feel free to like join that group. It's actually a very helpful there. You can see how our other users share their sentiments, share any feedback with MeasureSquare. Right? Yeah. So yeah. Also check on our webinar schedule on that QR code in the top right. We do have webinars almost every week to cater to different product lines. Right. All right. I do see a question from Michael. For yes. So for the bid module importing by room, yes, we're currently working on that. Michael, let me see when that could be. Let me just take a look 1 second here. Uh, because we do have that feature work on. Currently, we only have that for quotes. Um, okay, so let's see here. We have it scheduled ideally for by end of November. So, and I will also check with James on that on if there's like a more concrete timeline for that. But I do see it's already in the pipeline. Yeah, thanks for that, Michael. Yeah, can just give give some time also for other questions that can come up here. I do just want to share while waiting for anybody who wants to ask questions. I just want to see the results. I'm pretty curious from our polls. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So for what do you want to dress up for Halloween? We do have a tie where being a vampire, doctor, or superhero. Okay, excellent choices. Um, and let me see. So I do see for the question on how familiar are you with the AI Analyzer tool? I do see that there's um, roughly some are already using it every now and again. Um, some are using it every day. Thank you for that. If any of you have any feedback on that, please feel free to send us an email so you can see how we can improve that tool. Also see here that some have not heard of it, so I'm happy to have shared that today, just so that you can now use or take advantage of that tool. Right, so yeah, so if there's no any other questions, I'm happy to um, end today's session and give you back your day. So I do appreciate everyone's time for attending today's webinar, and I'll definitely see you on the next one. So feel free to always reach back out to us or to send us an email if you have any other questions. And thank you again, and happy Halloween.